We've all talked about UFOs. We even look in the sky to see if we can see them. We are going behind the scenes with Mufon right here in Oklahoma with an organization that actually investigates the sightings. Let's check it out.
Their whole mission is the scientific study of UFOs for the benefit of humanity. So in order to carry that out, we have investigators in all 50 states, across all kinds of countries. I mean, all across the world we have chapters where we've trained up investigators in how to investigate UFOs. And a big part of that is Mufon University, which we just rolled out the new version of it. And we teach people how to look up satellites and how to look up positions of the stars and planets and how to track aircraft on flight radar. And so we can rule out the things that are prosaic. About 85% of the cases we receive, we're able to actually identify. And so that leaves about 15% that get really interesting, and we get into some really strange things. Here in Oklahoma, we get about 120 cases a year. And that goes into our database. Mufon has a case management system with over 140,000 cases right now. So every time someone visits mufon.com and reports a case, someone local is assigned to that case, and we investigate every single one of them.
Mufon investigates 120 cases every year in Oklahoma, but more importantly, the people at Mufon bring a lifetime of passion to their work.
I have always had an interest in ufology. I grew up in the 50s and the 60s during the big craze and followed the space program, all that stuff. We used to set out in the middle of the night and all our families and neighbors and look for UFOs.
I called headquarters to see where the meetings were held here in Oklahoma, and they said, well, we actually don't have a chapter there right now. The state director had some health concerns, and so we're looking for people. And I didn't realize that I could be an investigator. I thought I needed to have some kind of law enforcement or military background or something. And I was an ICU nurse by trade. I knew how to collect evidence, but I didn't know if I had anything to offer them. And I talked to the director of investigations for a couple of hours on the phone, and he said, let's get you signed up. And I've been in love with it ever since.
We also are able to talk to a witness who has seen several UFOs personally. We're protecting his identity to help keep him safe.
I looked straight up, and within 30 seconds of me looking straight up, a ship came in from space and stopped right above me. It was very high. It was already dark, but it stopped in the daylight, up in where the sun was still shining, and it was teardrop, shaped like a teardrop, and it was blue. I'll never forget that. Once you see it, you never forget. It's always there. It's always in your mind. So I knew it was real. I knew what I'd seen. I didn't care what anybody else said. I knew they were real at that point.
And that was just one UFO encounter. He has actually witnessed several more.
When I looked, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. There was two orange ships sitting out there in the pasture. One was, I had described it as a diamond shape, but I believe you could call it maybe a crystal type. And the other one looked like a big fat donut. And they were both orange. They were glowing orange, and they were very large. Both of them were pretty big. And I just couldn't believe what I was looking at. It's a moment when you don't believe your eyes.
If you think that you have seen a UFO, make sure to reach out to Mufon. They will put their best people behind the investigation.
They can go through the website. It's mufon.com, M-U-F-O-N, and there's a big red button at the top that says Report a UFO. And they can go on there and tell us what they saw. We ask for the exact time, date, any photos or videos need to be in original format so we can do analysis on those. And then once they submit it, within a few days, someone from Mufon will contact them and start the investigation.
I can feel them now. unfortunately, or fortunately.
Are you excited for the next one?
Absolutely. Whenever I don't see one for a while, I'll kind of ask them to come, and sometimes they will and sometimes they won't.
So if you think you've seen a UFO, make sure you let Mufon know so they can check it out. And if you haven't seen one yet, keep your eyes open. You never know what's just above you.